Unlock the door, bitch. I'm on my way, and I got chicken strips.
I don't know why they call them chasers. It's not like Chubbs can run real fast.
Double vodka with hot brownie chasers.
She just wanted to watch me eat it. Naked.
I can't say that. That's dirty.
Chasers will do anything to get into your pants. I love them.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh,
God! Chubbs Gone Wild!
Hey there, welcome to Chubbs Gone Wild, number 518, recorded on November 13th, 2023. And we have been gone for a week. We skipped a whole week because Tom went on a wonderful trip over the rainbow. Well, over a small amount of ocean anyway. And
There's some rainbows. I saw them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you went to, yes. You want to talk about during your week?
I don't care, whichever you want to do.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead. It is 67 degrees and mostly cloudy outside the Chubbs Gone Wild remote studios, where it is 10 days until Thanksgiving. It is 24 days till Hanukkah, 38 till winter solstice, 43 till Christmas, 44 until Kwanzaa, and 49 until New Year's Day. Also, it is 354 days until Halloween. Anyway, well, don't forget our year-end contest. All you have to do is interact with us somehow, some way. Make sure that we see it. You can send us an email. You can comment on our Facebook group. You can do something, and we will, go ahead and enter you into that contest. And our deadline is November 30th. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like My Life in Fragments podcast, books, videos, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi Nick, DJ Sausage from the Universe, Eric, Sean, Kingsley, Brothers Natus, Phoenix Dave, and Moose P. Please visit patreon.com/Matt Burlingame to find out how you can become a patron of the show and the work that we do for as little as $1 a month. All right, well, it is time for our amazing affirmations that just change our lives. Take a deep breath and join me. Equality and world peace begin with me. Today, I express loving kindness to all. Well, I do that.
Oh, really? I'll call Brian. Let him know that you love him.
Oh, I do love Brian. At a distance.
Yeah.
At a distance.
At
All
a
right.
distance, the world looks blue and green.
Exactly. All right. Today in history. Well, near the end of a week-long national salute to Americans who served in the Vietnam and the War and Vietnam veterans, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial is dedicated in Washington, D.C. after a march to its site by thousands of veterans of the conflict. The long-awaited memorial was a simple V-shaped black granite wall inscribed with the names of the 57,939 Americans who died in the conflict. Jeez. Arranged in the order of death, not rank, as was common in other memorials. So that happened. Well, at some point today, years ago. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into holidays. See if there's anything we did that we didn't even know about. Oh, well, today's Actors Day. We've done that. We've celebrated that. Also, it's National Bread Pudding Day. I make bread pudding. I like bread pudding, but I'm not making it today. Oh well. Also, it's Indian Pudding Day. Not sure.
Wouldn't that be Indigenous Peoples Pudding Day?
Well, I would know. What is it? Yes, yes, you are correct. It would be, I would think,
Unless,
unless it was the other Indian, like from India. But I don't know why they would have pudding.
well, like in England, the pudding is more of a cake. Like figgy pudding is not pudding, it's cake.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I don't know. I just
Well,
questioning that because I always want to be, appropriate.
I agree. Um, the odd thing is it's observed annually on November 13th, annual on February 17th, and annually on June 27th. So apparently it's celebrated 3 times a year.
Huh. That
Yeah.
sounds more Indian then, like India.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's also National Mom and Dad's Day because what, their separate days aren't enough?
I know. It's like every day is mom and dad's day because they have such wonderful children.
I guess so. Yes, that's a good way of pointing it out. It's also Sadie Hawkins Day. Hmm, did not know that. And also Sigid.
Sigourney Weaver.
No, it's actually the 29th day of Heshvan in the Hebrew calendar. So obviously I probably messed up the pronunciation quite a bit. Also, start a rumor day. I heard a rumor. I heard a rumor. Okay, so enough of that. Symphonic metal, world kindness. Oh,
Yeah, that's not gonna
kind to
happen.
the world. Yeah. Also, World Orphans Day. Hmm.
That's
I don't
me.
know any world that is orphaned.
I'm an orphan.
Oh, well, yes, in a way, that's kind of true.
And you know what? It's
What?
a hard not life for
Far out. Yeah. I like that. That's actually my favorite song from there, I think.
well, it's funny. I was watching Merrily We Roll Along. I wasn't actually watching it, I was watching clips from it. And
Mm.
they go to the characters go to sell a musical to a producer, and the producer's going, give me a song that makes my foot tap, give me a song that makes me remember it,
Mm.
because they were we're living in New York and it's dirty and there's garbage everywhere, and it's like, okay, no, I need and immediately I thought of Hard Knock Life, because that,
Yep.
and then Tomorrow. I mean, the whole musical is filled with hit songs,
Yes, it
and
really is.
that's I mean, even Little Girls, and what was the You're Never Really Dressed Without a Smile. I mean, you go in and what's there's another one I'm forgetting. NYC and Easy Street, so I mean, the whole thing is just like, and that's immediately what I thought of when I heard that in the song. So yeah, that's you got to have those in there.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why he what's his name, wrote um uh midnight, not a sound from the pavement. Yes,
Memories.
Memories. He wrote Memories because there was no other song that you could advertise with.
Right. So,
Except
okay,
that,
see,
oh, Cats Now and Forever. Fuck you. Okay, go ahead.
there's a part, okay, so there's a thing about the song Memories that I heard yesterday as part of something. And I so want to tell you about it, but I don't want to do any spoilers for anybody that may not have seen anyone yet and is going to see it. But
Okay.
once you see it, you're gonna love it.
It's what, like a meme or something?
No, if we remember after the show, I'll tell you because I don't think it'll be a spoiler for you, but
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it for anybody else. All right. Happy birthday. I know, right? All right. Happy birthday to Ronnie, my neighbor. Ronnie, Marcus, Rick, Bree, Michelle, Christopher, the former mayor of West Sacramento, Mr. Christopher. Also, Michael, that Mr. Michael of the Gayish podcast. Also to Sean, Brian, Mickey, Lauren. Oh my God, it's Lola Lauren. Her birthday's coming up. I didn't know she was a Scorpio. Also, that Pat Geik, Mr. Patrick Geik, one of the finest actors in Podland. Also, we have Mike, Nixie, George, George from the North and South, and This Week in Gay, and all sorts of different podcasts. Happy birthday, Mr. George. Also, we have David, Jody, Marguerite, Mark, Tara, and David. Daddy David Warpness. His birthday's coming up. Knew he was a Scorpio. Num num num. And for the birthdays that we missed last week, hope that you all had a happy birthday, and we're just going to send you out a chub hug because you deserve it. Which takes us into chub hugs because there's nothing in our feed bag at the moment. So
Go ahead.
I did my chub hug.
Oh, okay. Well, mine goes out to the people of Lahana in Maui. Because we got to see the results of the fires. And honestly, when you first look at it, you go, well, first of all, it was weird because you're driving in towards Lahana and you look over and you go, I can't tell if those trees have been burned or it's just the fall. And then you start seeing there's actual streaks where you can see the flames went and missed a house or two here and then went straight down. It's like your neighborhood, like it going down one side and missing the entire other side. And then one of our favorite restaurants, we went down there because you could walk down there and it was fine. It was there. It was still there. And so was there's this amphitheater right behind the Safeway where they do all the Hawaiian luau stuff. It's a big place for luau. But it was closed. But the Safeway was open and the Long's drugstore was open in front of it, but they couldn't serve food. So like the deli section and the Safeway was closed. They couldn't serve any food. So we figured it must have been, there must have been like a problem with the water or sewage possibly, where it basically everything had to be kind of like, with the, what in the Detroit, where they, not Detroit, where they had the bad water in
Flint.
Michigan, Flint, where that went on. And then, you shouldn't be living there, first of all, and you definitely should not be drinking the water or bathing in it, because that's the one thing they go, this is so toxic you shouldn't even bathe in it. And I'm thinking that must have happened there, because then there's other areas that are just wiped out. The area that we first stayed at, we stayed at a B&B when we first went down there, it was gone. It was just the whole neighborhood was just, it looked like an atom bomb had gone off. The trees were without leaves and it was so weird because everything is gone. And then there's this playground where like a little park where a playground, and this red plastic slide is still there. And then the house right next to it is still there. And everything around those two things is gone.
Wow.
And it's just weird. So, I mean, I understand, and not to mention that there's still people that are missing. They don't know what happened to them. So they were obviously, just burned to death and underneath so much shit. And it's awful. And I send out hugs to those people. both survivors and victims, because that's the whole thing, is that they're also connected in Hawaii, and whatever islands you're on, and even multiple islands. You've got family on all these different islands, and it's all connected, and the grieving, you can just feel it in the air. You really can. So
Yeah.
so let's talk about celebrity deaths.
Oh, gosh. Well, it's been 2 weeks, so surprise, there's a lot of them. So weird.
I haven't heard
Feel
about
like
half.
it doesn't feel like there's been so many celebrity deaths until last few years. Anyway, all right, starting with Janet Landgard, who starred in The Swimmer and The Donna Reed Show. She died at age 75 following brain cancer diagnosis.
Wait,
Connie
she had to have been one of the children. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think
and
so.
because I never saw the Donna Reed Show.
Um, I think I've only seen some Christmas episodes. Connie Van Dyke, the actress and Motown singer-songwriter, died on November 11th of complications due to vascular dementia, reports Variety. She was 78. Evan Ellingson died November 5th at the age of 35. Ellingson began his career with small roles on General Hospital and Mad TV before landing a recurring role on the 2004 sitcom Complete Savages. Peter White, the actor best known for his groundbreaking role in The Boys in the Band and a recurring stint on All My Children, died at age 86 after battling melanoma. The actor made his first big splash on the role we just said this, 1968 off-Broadway production of Boys in the Band. Tyler Christopher, the actor best known for his work on General Hospital, died from a cardiac event in San Diego at age 50 on October 31st. His first screen role came when he joined General Hospital in 1996 as Nicholas Cassadine, or Cassadine, if I remember, that's the way they pronounced it, I think. Aaron Spears, the Grammy-nominated drummer, known for his work with Usher, Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, and more stars, died October 30th at 47. Johnny Rufo, the actor, best known for playing Chris Harrington on the Australian soap opera Home and Away from 2013 through 2016, died at the age of 35 after battling a rare form of brain cancer. Walter Davis died on November 2nd. The former NBA All-Star reportedly passed away from natural causes while visiting his family in Charlotte. According to the UNC, he was 69. And Adam Johnson died October 28th, a former National Hockey League player who was a part of the Pittsburgh Penguins. He was 29.
Wow.
Youngins. All right. Gordon Ramsay is father for the 6th time with his wife of almost 30 years, Tana Ramsay. The celebrity chef posted a trio of photos of the hospital, from the hospital, on his verified Instagram account Saturday, revealing the pair had welcomed their son named Jesse James Ramsay. There's a name.
Come on. He's 57 years old. How old is his wife? 30 years? So
30, okay, so they've been married 30 years, so she's got to be at least
48.
Add 16, 46.
40. Oh, okay, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but to me, it's just like, oh my God.
Yeah. Netflix has revealed the first trailer for its live action adaptation for the Avatar: The Last Airbender. The trailer shows how the live action version of the characters look and also reveals a premiere date of February 22nd. Are you looking forward to it?
No.
Yeah, I have heard so much about Avatar: The Last Airbender, still know nothing about it. Best pop solo performances have been nominations have been released, and they are Billie Eilish, "What Was I Made For?"
From Barbie.
Doja Cat, "Paint the Town Red." Miley Cyrus, "Flowers." I actually really like that song. Olivia Rodrigo, "Vampire." And Taylor Swift, "Anti-Hero." I believe that one will win. My
They
pick
can't.
would have been "Flowers," but
Yeah.
I kind of have a feeling that Taylor's just going to pretty much sweep everything. What do you think?
I don't think so, because I think they're gonna say we can't give her the Grammy every time she produces an album.
She had more than the top, like the top, I don't know, 10 or 20 hits. Like every song on her album that was released was in the top 10 for months.
Well, that's because you can now purchase every song
Well, I
into,
know, but
yeah,
that's
but
gotta
that's,
mean something.
well, yeah, but okay, how about this? Tom Hanks has won 2 Oscars,
Yeah.
and then over the last from that was in his last one he won was, I think, 96, 95, right around there, Forrest Gump. And then he was nominated the next year for Castaway. And then he didn't get nominated for Captain Phillips. He didn't get nominated for a bunch of, really good. He didn't get nominated for Elvis, and he should have got nominated for supporting actor for that. It's because he's got too many awards. It's like Meryl Streep. She, in between her 2 Oscars, she had 30 years of like 20 nominations, and finally won a third one after 30 years.
Oh, yeah, but I think
I'm
the
saying,
difference.
I'm just saying,
I,
I,
I I mean I agree, but that's movies. I mean you don't have Tom Hanks having the top, top 10 movies in the top 10 movies at the same time. But I mean, I
I,
don't know. I
what I'm saying, but
I can see
everybody,
it going either way, but
I know, but you know what? When Taylor, it's not Taylor Swift, it's Bad Bunny or it's somebody else. When they bring out their album, all their singles go up right away. And why do
right.
they do that? Because she's got, well, first of all, it's because she's got the Swifties out there that are deliberately buying the albums as singles. They're giving her more money. Instead of paying $9.99 for it, they'll pay, like, what is it now? It's 129. So 129 a piece.
Mhm.
10 would be $12. So they're probably paying about 14, $16, because they want to make sure that Taylor's, gets all the accolades and stuff.
Right.
I'm we'll see what happens. I just think you cannot give her every time she brings that. I mean, remember when they were doing that with Adele, and everyone's like, "Oh no, again? You
Well,
didn't
can't
you
say
didn't
that
give
she
it to
didn't deserve it
Beyonce?" Even
though.
even Adele thought Beyonce should have won that award. So
Uh, I just don't. Okay, so I am gonna completely blow every queer out of the water here and say I just do not get the over fascination with Beyonce. I don't think I mean I think she's a good artist. I like a lot I like some of her work. I think I can name 3 of her songs. Uh but I don't see the mega celebrity that other people go so crazy for. And I guess I kind of have to say that with Taylor too. I mean, I can see it with Gaga, even though I may not be like uh drop dead, drop on the floor and worship her at her feet, but at least Gaga is just like, I don't know, she's got superstar status. She's got like Madonna status. I don't see it in the others the way that other people do. So anyway, all right. Hey, you know what? Enough about that. Tom wants to talk to you about.
oh, it's finally time for me.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's see. British baking show this week. It was desserts.
Ooh.
And I've never seen such a terrible technical ever, ever.
Wow.
I mean, you wait till you see it. It was awful. And
Okay.
remember, it's the desserts. They had to make a Genevieve sponge or Genoa sponge
Yeah.
with a syrup that goes over it. Let's just say, out of the 6 people, only 2 were edible. Yeah, a lot of raw dough, basically. But it was kind of humorous because the judges were like, okay, we can't eat this.
Oh.
Sorry, it looks good. Well, no, it doesn't. It's awful. And they had to compare, because then they had the 2 syrups, or the 2 sauces. So they were tasting the sauces going, well, the first sauce is awful, but the second one's not bad. So the person that had terrible sauces and inedible cake was the person in last place. The person who had one sauce that was good was in second to last place. The sauces that had both sauces good was in the 4th spot. The 3rd spot went to somebody who just had their sauces just a little bit better. And then the 1 and 2 were the ones they had to compare with edibility, basically. Well,
Huh.
yours actually tasted better. The number 1 tasted better than number 2, but they're both pretty terrible, and it was just funny. It was very funny.
Hmm.
And the person they got out finally got out, because I've been waiting for this person to leave for a while. I can't figure out how they stayed.
Okay.
Big Brother is over with, and Jag ended up winning Big Brother. He's
Oh,
the first sick. It's not Seek anymore. It's Sick, by the
oh,
way.
really? Oh, okay.
That's how
I
he
didn't know
pronounced
that.
it. Yeah, I know. I was shocked too. But the first Sick player to ever be on Big Brother, and he, of course, the first winner, Sick winner. Matt, who was the deaf Olympian swimmer. He does have partial hearing now, but he's still considered deaf.
Okay.
He came in second, and he just didn't know the game well enough to know how to win. That was his problem. Jag knew exactly what he was doing at the end and had all his answers lined up in a row. It was, and Matt's like, and he actually said afterwards, he goes, I wished I knew better, that I should have been better prepared for the jury asking us questions and my final statement and stuff like that. Jag came out and goes, you know what? I'll tell you, should you vote for me, just remember that I put all of you people into the jury, every single one of you. My hands are covered in your blood because of what I did, not because of what Matt did, not because of what Boy Jane did. When Boy Jane wanted to do something, I persuaded her to get rid of this person. And I did the same thing with Matt. All of you, my blood, your blood, my hands. And they all went, okay, yeah, that's true.
Huh.
So it was an interesting one. Cameron, who was only likable because it's hard to explain, but he came in as the fan favorite, which kind of it didn't surprise me, because there was a whole bunch of people on Twitter and Facebook pushing to make him fan favorite. So I think that's why he ended up being that. Bill Maher had Ted Cruz on this week, and but the thing is that when he's talking to Bill Maher, he's almost sounds normal and human, and then you get him on Fox News and he sounds like an idiot again. So it just shows you that all this is such
It's
posture.
age. Yeah. Yeah. It's
It's
all stage.
acting. It's
Yeah.
just bullshit. Anyway, the new Santa Claus's movie is series is out on Disney.
Oh, it's
Uh,
already out. Okay.
yes, I already saw the first episode, and the what's happening this time is there was an old Santa. There's a Santa from 1,000 years ago called Magnus Santa, but but what happened was the elves referred to him as the Mad Santa. Uh, and so, and when he died, and he was put into a nutcracker. Well, that nutcracker, after 1,000 years, has come in contact with some magic, and so Mad Santa is come back to life, and it's played by Eric Stone Street from Cameron from Modern Family.
Oh.
And then the guy who accidentally released him is Mr. Iglesias, Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, the comedian, the fat guy. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So good to see them both getting work again in a series. So that's fun. Let's see, True Blood season 5 we're on right now, and I'll give you a rundown. The fire monster, there's a fire monster. There's also Russell, who is the vampire that killed the newscaster live on television. We thought he was dead, but he's not dead. He's back. And then Sam Merlot, who's a shapeshifter, is out hunting the people who are hunting the shaper. Yeah. He's out getting them. So it's been fun. Yeah. And Jason's got a terrible little mustache that he can't grow. Shave it off. You can't grow a mustache, shave it off.
Yeah.
Okay. World's biggest ghost hunt, which was Pinhurst Hospital and sanctuary, sanatorium in Pennsylvania. It was a show going, it's the longest ghost hunt because they're going to be there for 2 weeks hunting through this very scary place. And I thought, it's going to be a series. It's going to be great. It ended up being 90 minutes and it went by really quick. And it's like, okay, now the place doesn't seem as scary as it was. So I was a little disappointed. I think that's on Hulu. South Park had their they've been doing longer episodes. Did you see the new one?
No.
Okay. Well, this one is Eric Cartman keeps having this reoccurring dream that he's being replaced by a minority female. His character is being replaced, and come to find out that it's because Kathleen Kennedy at Disney is now making sure that her thing is make it gay. No, make her a lesbian and make it really gay, super gay. And so what's happening is because that's Netflix, as we watch it, we go, okay, we were actually watching which one was it? We just watched something. What was it? We were just watching something on we were watching The Gilded Age. And right away we got the gay character, check mark. We've got the interracial, check mark. We've got the Black storyline, check mark. We got the lesbians, check mark. Who knew there were lesbians in the Gilded Age? There are. And it's just like, that's exactly what they're making fun of. And come to find out that Kathleen Kennedy was being replaced by a female Cartman. And she was the one saying, make it gay, make her lesbian and make it gay. To everything. So it's like they wonder why the Marvel movies aren't doing as well as they want. That's because they're following Kathleen Kennedy's rules and what she says, make it gay, make it gay. And it was really a funny, poignant kind of episode. Masked Singer last week, it was some housewife. I don't know who she is. Some housewife from somewhere. And on Survivor, now you watch Survivor? You're all caught up?
Yes.
Okay, I'll wait for that one. Raid the Cage. I just can't say enough about how much fun this show is. It's on CBS. You can also see it on Paramount Plus. Damon Wayans Jr. is the host, and they have a little trivia questions that they ask, and then their partner, then they earn, and with the trivia question, they earn time in the cage. So it's like the first one, it's like you get 3 seconds for every answer you get right. So you can get up to 30 seconds because there's 10 questions. And then the partner goes into the cage, pulls whatever they can and races out before the doors close on them at 30 seconds. So it's really fun. It's very exciting. We're both really enjoying the show. As I mentioned, Gilded Age, this season, what they're doing is that the nouveau rich lady who whose husband is the train guy, she wants to be a part of the opera circle and have a box at the opera. Well, the opera boxes are all filled up by all the old rich, and so they're trying to build a new opera house called the Met, or the Metropolitan. And so she's going, well, maybe I'll just go there because they've got plenty of boxes for us new people. And if we don't want to wait, and then Mrs. Astor's like going, well, I don't know that you want to do that. You don't want to upset people. You don't want to, you want to stay friendly with all the older rich people, because they can be pretty awful if you try to get where you're not supposed to be. And she's like, well, we'll see what happens. I'm going to throw a party for opera enthusiasts and invite everybody, and then we can just kind of feel out each other on where we think this will go. And so she brings in the number one opera singer to sing at their party, and all of the old rich are like going, oh. And the Metropolitan guy who's trying to get the money for it, he says, oh, this is our lineup, and he starts listing off all the lineups, and they're like, those people can't all be playing there, that's ridiculous. And she goes, well, not ridiculous, because you think we can't they can't get it. I got her for our party, and here she is. And they're all like going, maybe we need to get boxes at both places. So the old rich is like thinking, well, maybe we can have boxes at both opera houses. It doesn't matter, right? So it's a really good episode, and the costumes are so fantastic. I just can't say enough about the costumes. Anyway, Goosebumps finished it with season 1, I should say, because what they've done is they've introduced Slappy. Now Slappy is the the puppet, the ventriloquist puppet that's alive. So they introduced him at the very end, the last episode, and then Costco had the 8 books of Slappy. So I'm thinking, okay, here we go. It's coming back, and I'm fine with it. It was a good show. It's on both Disney Plus and Hulu. You can check that out. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. We're speeding through that one. We're just finishing season 4, and one of the episodes was Who Pooped the Bed. And what happens is Charlie and Danny DeVito in the show are sharing a bed, and during the night somebody pooped the bed twice, two nights in a row. So the whole episode is trying to figure out who pooped the bed. It's just these people are so disgusting and gross that you either watch it for just how awful they are, or don't watch it because they're so awful. So let's see, I did see Return to Halloween Town, which was the only one I hadn't seen, so I've now seen all 4 of them, and honestly the last one was probably one of the better ones.
That's the one where she's grown up and goes to college, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I still think the original is probably my favorite. But I mean, they're all good. The third one I think was a little too kiddish, but still.
See, 2 was my least favorite. Or was it? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, 2 was the one where the bad guy's son acted like a big old perv through the whole thing. It was kind of disturbing. But, yeah.
Okay, and then we saw 3 movies. Spider-Man Beyond, I think Beyond the Spider-Verse, is that what it's called?
Yes. Yeah.
And the very beginning I was very confused. And then once they started on the regular storyline, then when the parts that were happening at the beginning came through again. It was like, oh, okay, yeah, thank you. I would have liked that ahead of time because it was very confusing, and it's very long, and it's a to be continued. Which, I'm sorry, but to be continued after 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 20-minute movie was a little too much. I mean, and the storyline was going well. I was really happy once I, got caught up in it. But, and then to go, oh, I'm like, what's happened now? What's going? And it says to be continued, and I'm like, boo, boo. Okay, so
is it all cartoon or is it just part cartoon?
it's all cartoon. I mean, they have a couple things where they make reference to the real world, but
Okay.
otherwise it's all cartoon.
Okay.
And it's on right now on Netflix.
Cool.
Okay. We saw Coco, of course,
Yes.
for Dia de la Rentas Day.
Mhm.
And it was, it's a great show. It really is. It's really wonderful.
Mhm.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love when they go to the dead place.
Yeah.
And I know
You watched Encanto, didn't you?
yes.
Yeah. What I don't remember what you thought of it.
Well, I enjoyed it more the second time than the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't really sure where I was going with it or what was happening. And again, they do make up these terrible, terrible so some of the people in the families are always really awful to the main characters, and that because the same thing happens in Coco. The grandma was a bitch.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and and not Grandma Coco. I'm talking about Grandma Coco's daughter.
Right.
But it was funny because we watched it on the appropriate day, and then the couple nights later they played it down at the pool. They have a projector and a big screen that they do down at the pool. We had already seen it, so we didn't do it, but that was kind of fun. And then new also, I think that's Netflix as well, is the Insidious Part 4, I think, The Red Door.
Yeah.
And it was okay. It didn't have this, the scares were obvious, and but it's not bad. It's just, yeah. I mean, I wanted better. I wanted it to be better. And I didn't watch it with Sean because he doesn't like horror movies. Isn't it weird?
Yeah, neither do I.
Oh, but it does have what's his name in it? Shit. His name is, where do I have that? Yeah, I got it. Yes, who I saw naked on Broadway.
Oh, really? Him?
The father.
Insidious. I'll have to look it up because it's not coming.
Patrick Wilson.
Oh, really? Hmm.
He was in The Full Monty on Broadway when I saw it.
Oh, that was such a good show.
Yeah.
Oh my
And,
gosh. Oh yeah. I'm looking at him right now. Hello.
yeah.
Hmm.
So that's it there. And otherwise, Maui was still lovely. It was interesting trying to find. Well, we spent more time at the pool than we did normally,
Yeah.
because we spent half our time usually in downtown Lahana,
Mhm.
at the restaurants and stuff like that. And now I can walk, and I was thinking, oh, this is going to be great. And then they burned it down. So we went back to our old cove that we'd gone to a few years ago. It's lovely, kind of hike through this beautiful tropical forest. And at the end of it, there's this gorgeous cove that looks, still water, really pretty. So we packed a lunch and hiked in for that. And then I didn't need an extender either way on the plane.
Nice.
So that was nice. And the way there was super easy. It was super easy. I was comfortable. The chairs weren't too small. It was kind of nice. course, he ran me ragged the first day, and that just slowed me down for the rest of the trip, because I went through 2 airports. We went to the distillery, where they make the pineapple vodka. Then we go to Costco, and then after Costco, we go to Times Market, which is right out across the street from the hotel. And so I was like over 5 miles by the time we got to the hotel. I was tired. And then he walked me down because they're up kind of raised up, and then you have to walk down a hill. And we went and got food from the food trucks, because they have these food trucks that kind of hang out at the resorts. There's different food trucks at different places. And we went down and got food there. So yeah, I was exhausted by the time we got back to the hotel. And then of course I drank too much during the week, and I gained 19 pounds, which I've already lost. Yeah, let's see, it's been 3 days. I've lost 7 pounds of that. It's just water weight based on alcohol.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's really
crazy.
because I was, I'm walking all over around the place. I know what food we ate, so I know it's the alcohol. And it's like, okay, well, if I want to drink on vacation, I'm just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah.
But we did go to Costco twice, which was fun. We never gone to Costco a second time, but we were kind of on that side of the island and went, hey, let's go to Costco again. And we found the actual pineapple vodka that we had tasted in a 1.75 liter bottle, which they don't even offer to anyone but Costco.
Wow.
And it was good. So, other than that, we did get the deck restained before we left. And it just looks gorgeous. It's so nice, because it was, when you see an older deck and it hasn't been done lately, this just looks like it's going to last for a long time, and it's going to be nice.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah. Other than that, I think I do have my fall wreath up on the front door.
Oh,
And my scarecrow. I've got a stuffed scarecrow that's out for Thanksgiving, which I don't celebrate. But we will be celebrating with sides this year. It's all about the sides.
Hey, that it's, how you have to have the whole Christmas feast of this, that, and the other thing. Most years, my mom and I are just like, get either a roast or a ham and some pies. We don't need anything else.
Well,
And so that's what we do. So Thanksgiving.
You're gonna love John Oliver this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because what happened was, I can't remember if it was Walmart or who it was, but somebody had to pull the stockings that said happy ham. It was ham and then mus. So it looked like Christmas, but hammus. Of course, it looks like Hamas when you see it. But it's so funny, because when they said hammus, and I'm like going, oh my God, I got to get that stocking for Matt, because a couple of years ago they only had ham. That was all they had for Christmas dinner. And he goes, Sean's going, yeah, but it spells out Hamas. And I went, oh, but the hammus thing, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Okay. Well, two things that I want to bring up before we get into our mutual shows is one, I know that for those of you who are like, hey, Chubb's gone wild, and yet you're, clapping for Tom lost enough weight to not use an extender. Just we don't put it in our opening anymore, but we are the show that celebrates every body type, and whatever your journey is, we celebrate it. So. And then also, I gave up Diet Coke, and I'm actually sticking to it now. Like, because I've done it a couple times and went, fuck that, I need my Diet Coke. So far, it's been about 3 weeks, and it's not doing it, and I can kind of feel a little bit of a difference. So it's weird. And there, Tom, for those of you who aren't seeing the video, Tom just showed his making up for my lack of it.
There's another stack in the living and then the laundry room.
Oh, that's crazy. You know what? I used to do the same. If they had those 2 buy 2 get 3 free things, man, I'd stock up on as much of that as I could. But yeah, I went to the bottles and now I'm just at nada. So, all
What
right.
are you drinking?
What?
What do you drink?
Just plain water.
You're only drinking water.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep. In fact, I had to order 2 more things of it today. Get the 28 pack, and the 28 pack instead of the 40 pack, which I like to get, but the 28 pack, the bottles are bigger, so you don't have to keep rushed into the fridge.
Or are you recycling those bottles?
Oh, of course. Well, we put it out there, and then somebody else comes along on their bike and
Okay.
recycles it. So yeah. All right. I finished the Halloween Baking Championship actually this morning before the show, and I was absolutely fine with the final 3 and fine with the winner. Any of the 3 could have won, and I would have been happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, and I think
I knew at the end who was going to win. You could tell.
yeah,
They were very fond of that person. So
yes, yes.
and they were actually more creative and less,
Mhm.
complainy and stuff. So
Right. And the other 2, the gay boys, they were great, but their final things both had flaws that you're just like, no, that's not gonna fly. So, but yay, I was happy with that. And you said the holiday one's already started?
yes.
Okay, so I'll probably be dive into that. I like that one better. I like the Christmas ones better
Well,
usually.
I don't like, it's funny because when he was on the soup, he was fine as a host, but now he's just gotten weird. He's just
Yeah, that whole I didn't like the whole thing setup that they tried to do for it. I was
yeah,
just be a good host. That's what things I like about Jesse is he's a fun host.
right. I agree.
So also Survivor. So yes, I did dive into Survivor. I have caught up. I like a lot of the people on there. I was trying to think who I didn't like, but the only one that I didn't like was the guy from last time that got hurt and came back. And it was only because their depiction of him, the clips of him, I'm just like, God, what an annoying person.
That doesn't bother me. Emily, she's the one that bothers me.
Which one? Oh yeah, the one with the reddish hair and the
It should have gone the first week.
yes, totally agree. I think they managed somehow to save her because they knew that she would be disruptive or something. But
Well, what I thought was interesting is that now that the group is all together, I mean, before they went all together, they got rid of the second to last Lulu person,
mhm.
and now she's the only Lulu person left, and it's like she should have been the first one to go.
Yeah,
It's weird.
yeah. Um, I the cop guy or no, the EMT guy, I think he's an EMT from New York or whatever. He's kind of cute, but man, the whole, falling over thing was a little nerve-wracking,
Oh
when
yeah,
his little fits. It's like, "Urgh." So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have somebody right now who I'm like, I want that person to win.
me either.
Yeah. But I do I will say that I really like the fact that it is a really diverse group of people, and they've done that the last few seasons, and it's really good to see because
Yeah,
it's just like they're interesting rather than just a bunch of old white people who sit around and try to stab each other in the back. I'm like, I could have Thanksgiving and see that. Anyway. Okay. I think that's all that we're watching currently. We're gonna add some more to that when I finally catch up on the Bachelor stuff. So the ninth was Luigi's. What, you got something with your
I think
TVs? Okay. So we the 9th was Ouija's birthday. It was well, we didn't actually see him for that day, but the next day we did happy hour, and we had dinner at Roscoe's afterward, and it was just a very nice little event. Uh, Mr. Judd came out to stop by and say hello to us and then leave. And he brought Ouija a wonderful, amazing birthday present that was a big mug, like seriously a huge mug, and it was all gay rainbow all over it, and it had something on it like the love that shines from inside will shine in your life, love, love. I don't know, some damn thing. Anyway, I was like, huh, that's interesting. And he's like, yeah, I was at a secondhand store and I was buying some other stuff and I saw that and I'm like, I'll get him that. And I'm like, yeah, that's Brian. So he lives up to his reputation. So for several years I've been talking about really, really, really wanting a treadmill, and I've been saving up for it, and then had taxes and stuff like that I had to take care of. But so I've been really, really wanting one for a long time, and now I have one. And it is in a great big huge box in the front room, and it is so heavy that I have to wait till I have my dear friend Ouija come over and actually help me move it and set it up and all that stuff, because this sucker it has a capacity of up to 400 pounds, and it is really fucking big. I barely got it through the door myself. I was tugging and pulling, but I have it, and now I'm just like, please let it work right. you know because I love that. I want to build up my core. A year from now I want to be like you and your husband, just like all svelte and muscular and walking around and stuff.
Not svelte. I've seen pictures of he took a picture of me at the pool.
Yeah. Oh, you mean shirtless?
Horrible. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And did you take pictures of him shirtless?
No, because he'd want those.
Because what?
He'd want those to share.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
You are a beautiful couple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in a beautiful relationship. Even though I did have a dream that well, never mind. All right, we don't need to talk about that. Okay. Entertainment wise, I have caught up on Frasier and watched the latest episode. The latest episode was really fun. Basically, Frasier and his son Freddie, who is a cute fireman, were set up on blind dates, and one of them showed up and both of them hit it off with them, and then realized that they had no idea which one of them she was there for. And of course, instead of being adult and just saying, hey, they yeah. And then the other one showed up, and well, I won't spoil the rest, but fun ensued. Anyway, it was a fun show. I am enjoying it. Yeah, believe that. Is Niall still alive? The actor David Hyde
Yes.
Pierce, is he still alive?
He was just he did Hello Dolly with Bette Midler a couple of years ago on Broadway.
Good. I for some reason I just couldn't remember, and I didn't look it up. Amazing Race. You don't watch The Amazing Race. I caught up on that, and this is a really good season for that. There's only one couple that I was all like, oh, you too. And they had the gay couple, which was very stereotypically gay couple, but I didn't care, and I started rooting for them only because, yes, I'm one of those, only because they were the gay couple and they weren't assholes. But they didn't make it very far. So anyway, all the other teams pretty much I like. I don't think there's anyone that I hate. Usually there's at least one or two teams that I'm just like, just hate with a passion, but nope. So there you go with that. So Robbie Williams There is a 4-episode documentary on Robbie Williams on Netflix that chronicles from the time that he was in Take That up through his career, and then like when he kind of fell apart, and like the entire thing. And they have lots and lots of footage because he had someone that was kind of following him around doing documentary footage for like decades. It is really, really good. It is a well-made documentary. If you don't really know who Robbie Williams is, I guarantee you, if you watch this, you'll want to rush out and, well, maybe not rush, but amble over to your computer and check out some of his music. It's really good, and it's very humanizing. So give that a chance. Caroline in the City, I've been watching more of that. The end of season 1, they tried to push them together. Richard and Caroline, they tried to push them together in this. It just seems so rushed and so fast. I mean, even in The Nanny, they waited till season 2 before they really started making the overtures. But they managed to pull it back together to get them back together for season 2. Anyway, it's from 1995. I won't go into it, but if you want a really good rewatch of a great show that still stands up a lot, go watch it. Finishing up Red Dwarf. They're into all the experimental episodes now. Bleh. And then finally, I watched The Marvels, which I saw in the theater yesterday. And thankfully, I didn't see a lot of the bullshit that have been out online about it. I don't think it would have spoiled anything, but I got to watch it just fresh. It is a very fun show, especially if you have watched the Miss Marvel series on Disney. You know who Captain Marvel is. If you watch WandaVision, it would help, because then you'll understand how the third one got her powers. But it was just a fun ride. It started off quick. Nick Fury is in it. Lots of fun references. Lots of the Flurgocken, whatever it is, the cat that's actually not a cat, plays a big role in it. Lots of humor, lots of great action, fun ride. So go check it out. It's really good. The thing that was kind of sad was that it was opening weekend. This was yesterday, Sunday. It was in the big theater, and the theater was barely half full to see it, and we went at a prime time. And it's getting a lot of flack. It's getting a lot of flack from the right, because it's woke. It's woke, because what they're basically saying is all the leads and the bad guy lead, they're all women. There's only one white woman. It's mostly a diverse cast of very diverse people and a cat. We didn't even notice. We didn't even give a shit. It was like a fun movie with fun characters and a fun plot. And then we walk out and we start looking at kind of the review things, and they're just like, oh, this movie sucks. It's so bad. It's not written well. And oh, it's so woke. And fuck that. Just go watch a fun movie. Why do you guys have to do all that shit? Anyway, what's that?
I'm sorry.
Well, anyway, but trust me, especially if you liked Miss Marvel, you're gonna love this. So
I just said what I said to you, and a certain thing on my watch said, "What can I help you with?"
there you go. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and jump over into some advice, starting with Miss Manners. A woman I used to have a meal with once a month or so has not communicated with me in 3 years. I didn't give it that much thought due to COVID. Uh, Due to COVID, she has had health issues and might not have felt safe on the subway. She lives outside the city proper, and we used to meet at a restaurant in the city. Last week, she posted on social media that she is looking for a job. The next day, I got a frantic, brusque, ill mannered, and gauche email from her saying, "As you can see, I am reaching out," referencing her job search. "So I'm really like to get together." Then she listed dates when she was available. Well, I was really quite appalled, considering that she hadn't communicated with me personally in 3 years. Don't you think she owed it to me to spend at least the first paragraph making nice? As in, "I'm really sorry I've been out of touch for so long, but..." She is not a kid. She is a woman in her 60s who is old enough to know and to have been taught how to write a polite letter. And as you have said on a number of occasions, an email is today's version of a letter. I should add that I have no intention of making a date with her.
Um, there's a meme going around. I think we've talked about this before, and it's like, before you become an asshole, just remember, you don't know what these people have been through, what they're going through in their own life. So when you see somebody, usually it was like some, person begging out on the street, before you yell at them or make fun of them, remember, you don't know their story. And that's exactly, I mean, this woman obviously is a bitch. I mean, a major fucking bitch. So what? I mean, there's people I haven't talked to in years, but the first thing I'm not going to do is say, oh, great, I don't get the whole paragraph of you telling me what's happened to you and making nice. It's like, what a bitch, and it's you cannot be a judge. You meet with, and then, "Oh, I'm not going to meet with her." Well, then why are you writing this fucking thing? I don't care. Then
Right.
don't meet with her. You're a bitch. Okay.
Well, and obviously, if you haven't reached out to her, you don't give a shit enough about her to even be friends. Why bother?
Yeah.
So anyway, well, let's see what Miss Manners had to say. "In those 3 years, did you reach out to this friend?" Oh, well, there you go. Miss Manners only asked because if you did and the friend did not respond, then you are entitled to be indignant. However, if you were complicit in the silence, she has a bit of sympathy for a friend who may have ascribed similar intentions to you and now sees an opportunity to connect, albeit a calculated one. In any case, a polite but curt response would be, 'I'm so relieved to hear that you are out and about again, but I'm afraid I am not in a position to help with job connections. You need not elaborate.'" Okay, whatever.
Just
Yeah.
okay.
All right. Hey, Chubbs, what is your favorite age growing up? What was your favorite age growing up?
I don't know. I did like my 20s because I was in Los Angeles, and that was fun and different and exciting.
Hmm.
Uh, but I'm pretty much a happy person, so I don't know that. I've never I cannot think of, right off the top of my head, a real terrible time. I mean, I've been with terrible people, but not terrible times per se. So
Right. That's good. I would say my favorite age growing up would be um, probably 5, right in that area, because that was about, the period where before I started like,
when you first realized you had a penis and that you liked older men, right?
ah, well, that came a little bit later, but I always did have a thing for older men. Granted, at that age, it was probably more 19, but still. No, it was just that sweet period for me where everything was still okay. You're not aware of all the crap that adults have going on, really. You're just blissfully happy and it's all
Ignorant.
good. And then, all the shit starts happening when, you become first grade and everybody treats you like shit. Anyway, 5 was a great age. Everything after that, mix. Some good, some shit show. Eh. All right, moving on. Hey, Chubbs, what's the phone app you use the most?
Mine is the health monitor from Apple.
Oh, those people.
Well,
Oh,
only because
uh, go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Oh, I know of an app that you might like better that does the same thing but is a little bit more accurate for you. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Um,
Because already I know that after my workout, I'm already 2 miles into my day. So
good for you. 8,000 steps will dramatically, 50% decrease your chance of heart issues. So they say.
and it's pretty easy to do. If you're well, if I'm in the house all day long, I'll get between 2,000 and 4,000 steps. But if I hit the store, I hit Costco,
Mhm.
take a walk, go to the gym, it all changes. So yeah.
That's good. Okay, for me, it would probably, it would probably be my text, my iMessages. Um, Other than that, mm, yeah, it would probably be that one. Otherwise, it would be like, checking Facebook or something. But okay. So what's in your lunchbox? Well, so we're gonna start out with Mr. Tom. He
Well, when you said my pictures, you still have some that you didn't put up.
See, that's what I was asking. I thought there were a few missing.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have them, but
Okay.
so the first one up here is it's from a place called Tie Me Up. It's a spelled Thai,
Oh,
spelled
gotcha.
THAI Me Up,
Hmm.
and it's a actual award-winning truck. The first is shrimp and drunken noodles with Sean
Oh,
Cut, and then the next one is this was basically chicken bits, deep fried chicken bits with a sweet dipping sauce. It was really good, and that's papaya. It's rice and then shredded papaya, which was good too. That was my salad, but it was a nice little truck. We also the other ones that I'll have Matt put up,
mhm.
which you can see they're right below the pictures that I sent you. Um, this one, there were two different places that I took pictures of. The first one is it was miso fat,
Yeah.
um, which was what happened was this is kind of funny. The electricity went out everywhere north of Lahaina, and we were north of Lahaina. So we got in the car and we started looking for lights, and because the hotel was dark,
Hmm.
so we our regular places that we were going to go were dark. So we went, okay, let's just keep driving until we find some. We found a McDonald's, and then we backtracked and found this sushi place called Miso Fat, and they had, get this, they had probably seating for maybe 30 total in the restaurant. So
Wow.
they were packed that night. And we sat at the sushi bar. There were 8 seats. There were 4 on 2 sides, and then the other side was, where they're making the sushi up. They had 4 air fryers and a sink, and that was their entire kitchen.
Wow.
and they so the first thing that we got was 3 different sushi rolls, and they were very tasty and really, I mean, they were packed with good stuff. And then what happened, we had to wait for, it's a miso butterfish
Mhm.
that they it's got a miso soy brown sugar glaze that they put over it, and it was flaky and it was amazing. By far the best piece of food I put in my mouth the whole time was that miso butterfish. And then the second place, which is, it's a Venezuelan, I hope I pronounced that right.
Venezuelan, yeah.
Yes, well, yes, it's from Venezuela. This is they have there's a little sandwich, like a pita sandwich, but it was filled with shredded beef and cheddar cheese. I mean, it was packed.
Huh.
And then we got some fried plantains, and then I can't remember what the little sticks were, but those are really good. And then we got the the little hand pockets. They're called anyway,
Oh,
yeah. So we got those, and and then there's 2 bottles in the picture you can see behind it. One's a chipotle mayo, and the other is a garlic aioli. And you and so this was very bland until you start putting the sauces on it. It reminded me of the people who go and get a pizza and then dip it in ranch dressing.
yeah.
It's like, I mean, the food was good, but there was no spice in it. Actually, there was no spice in almost everything we ate and we were surprised that we
Really?
never really noticed that there wasn't that much spice.
Hmm.
But when you had the chipotle and the garlic aioli, you squeeze that on. Empanadas, those are empanadas.
Okay.
They it was really tasty, and it's food I've never had. I mean, I've never had fried plantains before. And I believe those sticks are daikon. They're like daikon fries that are fried. It was all really good. It was very tasty, but thank God they had the squeeze bottles to add some spice in there. Otherwise, I just ate fish and chips and chicken katsu. So, and a lot of it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my pictures. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. And then we
Okay.
go Moose.
Yes. Well, Mr. Moose has well, he had to take a week off because, we weren't here. But he has sent some amazing things, starting with, he says it's not the prettiest tart I've ever made, but tasted good. The crust was ground pecan sandies. Oh, that's a great idea. And butter pressed into a tart pan. I added a layer of chopped walnuts, then a layer of sweet apples. Brushed the apples with apple jam. Crust started breaking apart when I cut the tart. Oh well, tasted good.
Hey,
I would,
it's like when you cut into a pie and it kind of falls apart. I don't care.
yeah,
I'm going to throw whipped cream on it and probably stir it around anyway. So,
yeah,
but it's lovely, and I'm sure I'm sure it tasted as good as it looks.
yes, I imagine. Um, let's see. Okay, Thai basil chicken, bean sprouts, wilted basil, red and green peppers, mushrooms, and a hot fish sauce.
See, that looks. I want to go to North Carolina just so I can go to his favorite places and try these foods out, especially this Chinese place that he goes to. It always looks
Yeah,
fantastic.
it does. Baked cookies to give to a couple neighbors for Halloween. These are caramel apple cookies. I have never heard of that, and now I want to try them.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
Did he explain how they so
Mhm.
so it's what kind of cookie? Well, I got to talk to him. Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I'm sure he'll write in and let us know.
Yeah, I just want to
Just
know because the cookie itself, I get the caramel on top with the sprinkles, the
Mhm.
holiday sprinkles, but what kind of cookie did he add the apple to?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of an apple cookie,
I
so
have
I've
heard, I
certainly never
mean,
had one.
well, go up to Apple Hill. They've got everything apple. But I'm
And
just wondering because
see.
it's kind of like you can make you can make Toll House cookies and then just change out the chocolate chips for whatever you want.
Hmm.
It's still a good cookie, or it could be like a sugar cookie, or I gotta know. Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out. Okay,
Cool.
what is this
Uh,
thing?
Well, when you think of a New York cheesecake, I think of Junior's. It was so good, especially in the theater district in NYC. But around here, I have to settle for a small piece from the frozen section of the supermarket. Still, Junior's and almost as good as fresh. Hmm.
Juniors, they have Juniors on QVC a lot, and it's like the on the East Coast, it is the like premier cheesecake place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Now this is the one.
beautifully on that beautiful plate.
I know. Well, you can tell. I love the plates because you got it's on 1, 4, and 5. His gorgeous plates.
And the plates had a beautiful dimension to the
Well, they
photos.
do. It's the texture and the yeah. It's just
Yeah.
they do. They're fantastic for these photos. Okay.
Local pears are in season. Bought
Ooh.
some and made a rustic pear tart. Puffed pastry topped with pear slices that are brushed with butter and apple jelly for sweetness. This is still warm from the oven. Whipped cream for a little touch of fancy. One chance fancy, don't let me down. Oh, that's beautiful.
Uh,
I have not had a pear tart.
yeah, I've had well, I used to love making pear coffee cake.
Oh, yeah.
Because pears are so much like apples. You can do anything you want with a pear that you can do with an apple because they have the same kind of consistency as far as, and especially when baking, they're perfect. I just haven't seen it done with the skin, and now I'm really curious how that tastes, because
Yeah.
normally it's always been, with apples and with pears, you always peel them, but that
Right.
actually looks kind of good. So looks real good actually.
I think,
Uh,
yeah, I think my great grandfather's like favorite fruit was the pear. And we always try to have pears through pear season. I had one actually last night that was really good.
Yeah, we this well, I don't know if it's that we're eating more fruit or that the fruit is so much better, but I think it's because the fruit is so much better this year.
Yeah.
Because we went through the drought, we didn't have a drought year, so everything is just tastes excellent.
It does.
Everything from the cherries to the watermelons to the apples are pretty normal, but I mean they still taste fantastic. But we had pears and plums that have been great this year. It's just and the grapes. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm so
Okay.
fat.
All right. That is it. And thank you so much, Mr. Moose. And if you want to send us anything, go ahead and send it over to chubsgonewild@gmail.com and let us see what's in your lunchbox or snack
Please
box.
get yourself into the contest.
Yes, it sure will.
It's a very easy thing to do. Everybody eats. Send us a picture.
Yes. Yeah. Golden Rule Services want you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. PrEP is a medication proven to be 99% effective in preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, visit sacgrs.org. And you know what? Before we close the show, we need to give one more birthday shout out, even though he doesn't listen. Still, tomorrow is Mr. Lurie Dean's birthday. So we need to make sure to acknowledge the fact, because Lurie Dean is not only my neighbor and my friend, but just an amazing, amazing person. So
Does he like to put up like treadmills?
you know what? He would help me, I'm pretty sure. Right now he's in just he's in a huge work project phase and he doesn't have time for jack shit, but otherwise I'm sure he would. Maybe I can wait a little bit and get the two of them to do it. Then I wouldn't have to help at all. I just sit and act inept and then they fix it for me.
I think that's a great idea.
Me too. All right. Find Tom's other podcast at swannerandjudd.com. Find Matt's books at justkisstheguy.com. Find all of our links at allmylinks.com/ChubsGoneWild. And give us a call at
408-69 Chubs.
Ooh, such anticipation. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and we are glad to be back, and we will catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.
A network of inclusion.
UnivazPods.net.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network.
This has been a For Fuck's Sake production.